What's up, guys? It's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing? I'm doing good too, thank you. But today we are going to be tackling the question of can you flip a mammoth on Halo 4? The mammoth only appears on one mission, which is the mission Reclaimer on Halo 4. And well, let's see if we could flip the mammoth. So I'm going to use a method here from the YouTuber SomeFilthyCasuals. It's the method to fly uh, a Pelican, and as well to remove the AI from the mammoth. And then once we do that, we can do the test to see if we can flip the mammoth or not. So this is going to take a little bit, but it's kind of a long process, and you will want at least 2 or 3 people. You could do it with a minimum of 2 people, but a third person is probably better. As you saw, I had General Josh earlier just keep jumping and meleeing in the air. You want to do that because as long as he keeps jumping and meleeing, you won't get a checkpoint, which is a good thing right now because we don't want a checkpoint right now because this initial setup will take a little bit, and if you get the checkpoint too early, you only have one shot at this. So you want to push that Marine over here to like that rock. Don't push him any further because you'll hit the load zone, and you don't want to hit the loading point. If you do, then you'll have to restart. So once you move that Marine, and to move the Marine, you gotta put like 1 bullet in them so that they leave that saluting pose and that they can be moved around. But anyways, once you do that, push him here and then push a crate in front of him. And you're gonna keep shooting the crate with a battle rifle to push the Marine further through the cave, safely past the loading zone, because you're gonna need him later. And it's very important to use one of these 2 Marines at the beginning. So just keep shooting the crate. Just make sure you balance your shots so that the crate doesn't slide too far to one side. But just push them as far as you can. Usually two BRs worth of ammo is enough distance. Right there is about fine. You don't really need to go any further. But the further the safer, because the load zone it's kind of small, but just you want to be careful. Anyways, once you're satisfied with how far he is, you want one player, the one that's not jumping and meleeing, to stand right over there by the rock. And what you're going to do here is you're going to jump on his head and then do a double jump in the air and leap over the load zone. And if you do it correctly, the Pelicans up ahead should not load. If they load, then you messed up and you gotta start over. So you just want to do this here, and you want to just take a big leap across when you do a double jump. So just make sure you time it right, and everybody's ready so you don't mess up. And I actually messed up there, but fortunately we didn't hit the load zone. But the load zone's just a little bit past that little rock there to our left, so just don't go any further. This is the perfect spot. So just do a double jump and then quickly leap across, and there you go. We are good. The black bars will appear and there'll be some dialogue, but the Pelicans fortunately will not spawn. So what you gotta do now, this part's gonna take a while, so I'm gonna speed up the video a lot because this is gonna take a bit. But you want to push the Marine all the way onto the mammoth to one of the missile turrets, preferably the one on the right. But yeah, it's gonna take a while to push him because unlike the older Halo games, the Marines don't budge as much when you bump into them. So it's gonna take a while, and during this entire time you're doing this, you want to make sure nobody crosses the load zone. And you want to make sure that player at the very beginning is still jumping and meleeing, so you don't get a checkpoint. And the reason why you don't want a checkpoint, like I said, is because you don't want to do this whole setup again. You want to get the Marine into the right position, and everything's all set up, and then you can get a checkpoint. Because this is not the hard part. This is the easier part. So if you mess up during the hard part and you don't have a checkpoint, then you're gonna have to restart the entire setup again, and have to do that hard part again. So that's why it's important to have at least one person jumping and meleeing. So it's still possible with just 2 players. You just need to take turns to jump and melee. But if you have a third person in the game, then you don't have to worry about that. The third person can just be the sole designated jump and melee, or that's a real weird word to say, but the jump and melee person. There you go. But anyways, we're almost there now, so I can put this back to the regular speed. So just push him as close to the missile turret as you can. You don't actually need him to get on the missile turret, that's not important, but you just want him to get close enough. So right about here is fine. You can get a little closer if you want, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. So what you want to do now is, once he's in position, is you want to get on the missile turret and keep an eye on the Marine. Once you get on the missile turret, you want to wait for him to change his stance, his position. When he does that, then you'll be good. Alright, so now that we're on the turret, see the Marine change stance a little bit. And once he does that, then, like I said, you're all set. Now you want to jump on top of the turret, and you can have the third person stop jumping and doing the melee. So once you get your checkpoint, then what you want to do now is you want to time it right with the person who's still standing in the cave. When you say go, they need to run forward from the position that they were standing in, the exact same spot, so make sure they don't move, or at least they stay close to that spot. And then as they run forward, you want to sprint and jump off the rocket turret. And if you time it just right, the Pelican will spawn around you, and you'll be inside the Pelican as it's flying away. So, just hang tight in here. Don't worry about the 10-second kill barrier. You'll live long enough. But just hang around and just keep trying to move towards the front. And you want to make sure the other 2 players in the game kill themselves, so they spawn in the Pelican with you, and they need to sit on the seats. So as they're sitting on the seats, the Pelican will keep flying out, and in a second you'll have the option to take over the driver's seat, as long as you stay in the cockpit area and look at the seat. So there you have it. Now we can drive the Pelican, or fly the Pelican. Once we can fly the Pelican, we just need to fly back to the Mammoth. And we need to get pretty much at least one player on the Mammoth to grab the jetpacks. So it's going to be a little tricky to get to the Mammoth because there's like barriers everywhere, so you want to find like a small opening and just get the Pelican through that little opening and to the Mammoth. So right up over here is fine, but there's different ways to get to the Mammoth. This is just one of many ways. So once we're over the Mammoth, just have one player go take a jetpack off the Mammoth, and it should start moving forward pretty shortly. Slowly but surely. And as you can see, that Marine is still there next to the missile turret. Just, leave him there. Now, what you want to do is, in the Pelican, once the jetpacks have been grabbed, just simply follow the Pelican. Not the Pelican. Follow the Mammoth in the Pelican. And just let it go forward towards a couple loading zones. Now, around this part, the Mammoth is probably going to suddenly start speeding up for some reason. But just, go with the flow. And as for that Marine, you could just make sure he doesn't fall off. Just don't do anything to him. Just make sure he's fine. And the Mammoth will go forward. So after a couple loading points, the Mammoth will just disappear, which is a good thing. And the reason why it despawns is because that one Marine there is scripted to despawn after a certain loading point. And I guess for whatever reason, he takes the Mammoth with him. So now that the Mammoth is gone, all you gotta do is just fly back now. So follow the path that I'm taking to fly back, so that you could reload the previous section, because it's deloaded right now. So just go around the edge over here so you can get it past the barriers, because there's pretty thick barriers over there. So you'll load here, and the Mammoth will be back, and it won't have its AI anymore. It'll just be there. So now the Mammoth is basically a free object that you can move around. And It's no longer scripted to anything. It's just there. See, it's got physics and everything, and you could move it around. So now we got flip the mammoth. So I mean, you technically don't need the Pelican to do this. It would save you a lot of time if you didn't use the Pelican. But to actually flip the mammoth, it's a lot easier with the Pelican. I'm not even sure if you can even flip the mammoth without the Pelican. You would need like a lot of explosives and a lot of force. But anyways, we got the mammoth completely on its side now, and part of it kind of clips to the ground, but the center of it's like solid. So now that it's flipped, as you can see, the other players are unable to flip it back up. So there's your answer right there. Yes, you can flip the mammoth. However, you cannot unflip it. It's not like the elephant in Halo 3, where if you flip it, it has a little Easter egg message that says like hold B to flip. Wait, what? How'd you do that? No, the mammoth doesn't have that. It's just a plain old object. In fact, it doesn't even. You can't even unflip it. I know that, like in Halo 3, if you flip a Phantom, you can actually hold the B button to flip the Phantom, and it will flip. Now, this part is actually really weird, and it's actually lagging a lot because when the mammoth clips a lot of things, it just like lags the game. And right here, the mammoth got stuck to my Pelican, and I lost total control, and it dragged me out of the map really far out. As you can see, like that big mess there. But fortunately, I survived, but I lost the mammoth. In fact, I couldn't really tell. It looked like the mammoth blew up, but I'm not sure. If you guys want to analyze the film a little closely, just let me know what your opinion of what happened was. Because, you know, I didn't think we could destroy the mammoth, but maybe we just did. And if that's the case, then, well, that answers another question, which is, yes, you can destroy the mammoth. But if you guys do believe I did actually blow up the mammoth there, just let me know in the comments, and maybe in a future video we'll reinvestigate this more thoroughly and try to see if we can actually blow up the mammoth. Because I've tried other things, and there is pretty much no way to blow up the mammoth, as far as I know, but maybe there is now. And all of this, we don't need mods, so this is something that you all can do yourselves as well. But yeah, so hopefully that answers the question of whether the mammoth can be flipped. And yes, it can be flipped upside down or sideways, but no, you cannot unflip it like the elephant in Halo 3. Anyways, hope you guys found this to be interesting, and if you do try this out, have fun and good luck, definitely. But other than that, if you did enjoy this and found it interesting, make sure to leave a like and leave your thoughts and comments. Just let me know what you want to see next, and I'll do my best to get to some of those. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and click the little notification icon, that little bell icon next to the subscribe button, so that you can stay up to date with our latest videos. And other than that, I will see you guys next time. Have a nice day, folks.